A potential terrorist caught at the southern border. U.S. Border Patrol agents apprehending a Lebanese man heading to New York who claimed to be a member of the Iran-backed group Hezbollah after he said he planned on making a bomb. The man is currently in custody while the FBI investigates his claim.
But this incident, just a drop in the bucket. In the first 4 months of this fiscal year alone, border agents have encountered 59 people on the terror watch list.
Joining us now, former State Department advisor on Iran, Gabriel Noronha. Gabriel, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. Here's what's troubling to me is that if this individual didn't divulge that he was with Hezbollah and that he wanted to make a bomb, I think he would have got through American veterans and been in the country without one eyebrow raised.
That's exactly what would have happened. We've actually heard from some Border Patrol agents since then who have basically told the news that's exactly what would have happened. This guy was a bit of a moron, and that's what's protecting America, not our actual strong border.
If you look at those numbers, we just put them up a second ago. But in 6 years, so in the fiscal year for 2023, 172 border encounters between ports of entry with people on the terror watch list. That was more than in the prior 6 years. And it's the ones that, well, all the gotaways and the 10 million immigrants who have come in under Joe Biden illegally, that we have no idea the danger. It's incalculable, the danger to this country.
The ones who are going to carry out a 9/11 are not going to get caught. They're not going to be walking up to a Border Patrol officer and saying, hey, can you process me? These are the ones who are going to be sophisticated. Those are the ones who are going to carry out a plot. Again, those 172 folks, these are folks who aren't the top recruits. These aren't the brightest bulbs in the box. We need to be concerned. What are they thinking? What are they plotting? 9/11 happened. Our intelligence committee warned it was a lack of imagination on our part. We don't even have to have that much of imagination now to see what they could be doing.
Yeah, they're not turning themselves into Border Patrol, those who want to do us harm. They're sneaking across our border. To Dagan's point, the gotaways, we have no idea who they are, where they're going, and what ill will they wish for the American people. But I want to move to this because what feels like a moment out of the Twilight Zone. Iran, the leading state sponsor of terror, has just become the president of the United Nations Conference on Disarmament. They will now preside over 64 of the countries negotiating a slew of weapons agreements. And if that's not enough or proof enough, the UN is utterly useless. Today, its Secretary General scolded countries looking to advance nuclear warfare.
Countries are pouring resources into deadly new nuclear technologies and spreading the threat to new domains. And some statements have raised the prospect of unleashing nuclear hell, threats that we must all denounce with clarity and force. There is one path, and one path only, that will vanquish this senseless and suicidal shadow once and for all. We need disarmament now.
Gabriel, we need disarmament now, and Iran is leading this panel. What do you make of this?
Well, Iran is getting enough nuclear material for 8 bombs in 3 months. Our intelligence officials just warned that they are building a chemical weapons program, a biological weapons program of growing sophistication. And we're asleep on the job here. Look, our ambassador to this conference of disarmament, he's tweeted about 20 times since he took office on gender parity, on things at this conference. But you know what he hasn't done? He's only talked about Iran once in his 3 years there. The eye is off the ball. We never should have let Iran take charge of this conference at all. This is, again, very poor leadership at the State Department.
Before we go, and we've talked to you about this in the past, what is the Biden administration really up to with Iran? Because they have allowed Iran to export more oil than they have in at least the last 5 years, making tens of billions of dollars. The United States is, in essence, funding and bankrolling attacks on the United States and on United States assets. And then this gender parity is our concern, but not a nuclear Iran. What are they up to?
Well, I always say you want to talk about gender significance on gender. If a nuclear weapon goes and explodes, that's going to kill tens of thousands of women. That's the gender impact of nuclear weapons. I think the Biden policy is kick the can down the road. make it someone else's problem. Now, they might argue, hey, we've got to deal with Russia, we have to deal with China, so we're going to let the Iranian problem go away. That worked for maybe 2 years, but it's caught up to them. We've now funded all these attacks happening on our troops in the Middle East, on the Red Sea. This policy failed pretty quickly.
And these are the guys that said they needed the adults back in the White House instead of Donald Trump, and now we see what that looks like. Gabriel Noronha, thank you for being with us.
Absolutely, always a pleasure.